Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 30-year-old South Carolina resident Brittany Robinson traveled to D.C. with her husband, Linwood Robinson Jr., also his father, Linwood Robinson Sr., and his brother, Benjamin. On January 6th, the family walked across the West Lawn. They saw other members of the mob fighting with the police. There was pepper spray in the air. There was smoke. The police were ordering everyone to leave. And instead of leaving, as they were ordered to do, the family illegally entered the Capitol. They initially entered through the parliamentarian door, but Benjamin spotted officers heading their direction, so he waved for everyone to get out. So they turned around, they did leave. But they walked around the building and they were looking for another entrance. So they found that the Senate wing doors had been breached, so they entered through those doors and they headed to the Capitol crypt. They joined the mob in that area. Robinson and her family were at the front of the police line when there was that massive siege by the crowd. They overwhelmed the officers. They physically forced their way further into the building. And then they ascended the staircase to the second floor and they entered the office of the then Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. After exiting Pelosi's office, the family moved on to another area where there was a mob gathering outside of the House chamber. So they realized they weren't going to make it through that entrance. So they headed down a hallway. They were looking for another door. And they were seen on surveillance video. They had a brief conversation with a Capitol employee. And then they doubled back. And you see them on video waving for the mob over at the House chamber doors to follow them. And as the family led the mob toward the Speaker's lobby entrance, Robinson and her husband spotted people outside of the Capitol trying to break in. There was a locked set of doors. It was an exit. And so she and her husband started walking toward those doors, but someone beat them to it. Someone opened the doors before they got there and allowed more Trump supporters inside. So Robinson was seen on video. She raised her arms up in the air. She was celebrating that more of the mob got in. And then she and her husband headed back over to the Speaker's lobby to join the rest of their family. Well, by that time, the crowd was very agitated. They were screaming and cursing at the three officers guarding the doors. They were chanting, "Break it down." And then Brittany, along with her brother-in-law, Benjamin, was heard yelling, "They're leaving, they're leaving," because they saw the lawmakers exiting the House chamber. They saw them through the glass on the doors. Well, that's when everything went nuts. The glass on one of the doors was shattered. That's when Ashley Babbitt attempted to climb through and she was shot and killed. So that's when the Robinson family finally left the building. So Robinson was arrested on May 19th of 2022, and she was charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. In April of 2023, she pleaded guilty to the parading charge, and she was facing up to 6 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor requested a sentence of only 90 days in jail, 3 years of probation, and 60 hours of community service, plus a $500 restitution fee. As with the other family members, the prosecutor should have requested the full 6 months because Robinson made false statements in her post-plea interview. Robinson claimed that police officers were standing at the Senate wing doors when she and her family entered, and they let them in. And she said that the officers told them, quote, "You can be here, you just can't touch anything." So the interviewer then showed her still shots from the surveillance video at the Capitol right around the time that she and her family entered those doors. And then all of a sudden she moonwalked away from that excuse. She changed her story. Then she claimed that the officers, no, they were further down the hall. You couldn't see them on the surveillance video, but they were there. So very convenient. She also claimed to have seen video online in which officers told members of the mob that they could come in. She, of course, hasn't shared any of those videos with the FBI, just as people in my comment section always make that same statement. But never seemed to have a link to a video showing it. Also very convenient. In addition, Robinson said that she just couldn't recall waving for the mob to follow them to the speaker's lobby. And she said, oh, I was in the bathroom when all of that violence, all that stuff went down, the shooting. I was in the bathroom. I wasn't anywhere near the speaker's lobby. Luckily, all of her actions were captured on video. It refutes all of her statements. She was clearly there when everything went down. And as with the rest of the family, U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson presided over Brittany Robinson's case. I couldn't find any details about her sentencing hearing, but Robinson was sentenced to only 1 month in prison and $500 in restitution. So even more pathetic than her husband's weak sentence. I assume she gave them 3 years of probation. That has been the standard, but it wasn't mentioned. It wasn't noted. But at least Brittany has no criminal history, unlike her husband. So I kind of understand her getting a lighter sentence, but I don't know. I really don't believe this will act as a deterrent. 1 month, really. So we'll see what happens in 2024. If these people don't get their way again, are they going to throw a tantrum? Are they going to freak out again? Probably. All right, guys, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.